I want to tell you about the year I stopped trying to overhaul my finances and started doing something that actually works. No extreme budget, no spending freeze, no cutting everything fun out of my life. I picked up Atomic Habits by James Clear, a book most people associate with fitness or productivity, and I applied every single principle to money. Not overnight, but that's kind of the point, in a way that actually stuck, in a way that didn't feel like I was being punished. This is what I did, how I did it, and how you can too. Let's get started. The problem with most people trying to change their finances, they get motivated with a scary bank statement, a new year, a new wake-up call. They go all in. New budget, super strict rules, total overhaul, cut everything, save everything, do it perfectly, and it works for about 2 weeks. Then life happens. One bad day, one impulse purchase, one I deserve this moment, and the whole thing collapses because it was built on motivation, not structure. And motivation is not a reliable source. The book's entire argument is this: you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. You don't fail at saving money because you lack willpower. You fail because your environment, your systems, your habits are not set up to make the behavior easy, and that reframe changes everything. It's not about discipline, it's about design. So what a low buy year actually is. Before I get into the Atomic Habits principles, let me explain what a low buy year means for me, because it's not what most people assume. A low buy year is not a no spend year. It's not about depriving yourself and going 12 months without anything nice. It's a deliberate, intentional year where you get specific on what you will and won't spend on, and you build the habits around those commitments. Mine look like this. I said yes to experiences, food, things that genuinely added to my life, and a few nice things in the whole year. I said no to impulse purchases, status spending, and things I bought when I was bored. I said no to buying things that I already had a lot of, specifically makeup and beauty products, and even clothes and shoes. And I always wait a little bit. Like, I had the major shoppies this week, and I just waited like a day, and it honestly was completely gone. I was genuinely just like tweaking for whatever reason. The goal isn't to like not spend any money. The goal is to make every dollar that you spend intentional rather than a reaction to something. Next, let's talk about the 4 laws and how I applied them. Atomic Habits is built around 4 laws of behavior change. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. And for every bad habit, reverse them. I applied all 4 to my finances, and here's how I did it. Law number 1, make it obvious. Most habits happen on autopilot, not because we're choosing them, but because the cues are everywhere. And for spending, the cues are relentless. Apps on your phone, save card details, one-click checkout, email newsletter from every store you've ever bought from. Your entire digital environment is one giant spending queue. So I did a queue audit. I deleted shopping apps off my phone, unsubscribed from email lists. You can definitely remove your saved card details if you want to take this to the next level. I also have my notifications turned off for most apps, especially like shopping apps like Amazon. And on the savings sides, I made my savings very obvious. So you can do this by putting like a sticky note on your laptop with the amount you're trying to save. You can change your phone wallpaper to your freedom number. Make the thing that you're trying to build visible every single day. What you see shapes what you do. So make your environment more of what you want and hide the things that you want to avoid. Like for me, I like to hide chips because I love chips. Law number 2, make it attractive. We're more likely to do something if we associate it with a positive feeling. And most people associate saving money with sacrifice, with missing out or saying no. But that framing makes it sound miserable, and miserable doesn't last. So reframe savings as buying financial freedom. Not putting the money away, but buying options and flexibility. Buying the ability to walk away from a job you hate. Buying the ability to have flexibility with what you do and how you spend your day. I also like to track my net worth monthly, not to stress about it, but because I like watching the number goes up and that feels good to me. I also like to do this unhinged thing where I don't check my numbers when the markets are down. I only check it if it's like up. And I kind of look forward to it because the habit got attached to this feeling of progress, and that feeling made me want to keep going. And it made saving feel like winning, not losing. The reframe sounds small, but the impact is huge. Law number 3, make it easy. This is the one most people skip, and it might be the most important. The easier a behavior is to do, the more likely you are to do it. And the easier a bad behavior is, the harder it is to stop. So I made saving automatic. Transfer set up for the day after payday. Money move before I could see it, think about it, spend it. 0 friction, 0 willpower required. And it made spending harder. I deleted the apps, I removed the save cards, added steps between me and the purchase. And the 48-hour rule creates friction on purpose. and it works so well. Friction is your friend when you're trying to break a bad habit. Every extra step between you and the bad behavior is a chance for you to change your mind. And most impulse purchases die in the friction. I was reminded of how true this was this week for me. Law number 4, make it satisfying. Habits stick when they feel good immediately. And the problem with financial habits is the reward is delayed, sometimes by years. The investment you make today doesn't really feel like anything today. So I created immediate rewards. Every week I hit my savings goal. I did something small I enjoyed. Not a $200 splurge, but like a $10 thing, a coffee or a small treat, something that just kind of makes me excited. The reward was immediate and the habit got reinforced. I also kept a simple tracker, nothing fancy. It's literally just like a note on my phone where I log every day, where I stuck to my low buy commitments, and watching the streak build became its own reward. It's always fun to like gamify things if that helps you. And I didn't want to break it. The book calls this never miss twice because you will slip, everyone does. But the point is to never miss 2 days in a row. 1 bad day is a mistake. 2 bad days is the start of a new habit. So what actually changed after a year of float by? My savings rate went from something I was vaguely trying to do to something automatic that I didn't think about. My impulse spending dropped. Not because I was like trying to deprive myself, but because I removed a lot of the cues that was triggering it. My relationship with money got quieter, less anxiety, less guilt, less financial stress. And the thing that surprised me the most is I didn't miss the stuff that I was buying before. The stuff I thought I wanted, the impulse buys. I genuinely stopped wanting them once the cues were gone, which told me something important. Most of my spending wasn't about desire, it was about environment. It was about what I was exposed to, what was made easy, what was in front of me. Change the environment and you change the behavior. It's not a motivational line, it's just how humans work. And the thing is, I'm not like saying I've removed myself from consumerism or anything. I'm still a person. I don't live in a vacuum. I still exist within our society, and we are very much a consumerism society. And I still love stuff. Like I like a nice high quality water bottle, you know? But that's the thing. It's like I just try to be more intentional. I get the brand that I know is really good, high quality, and I have it for years. And every time like a shitty little new water bottle trend pops up, I just look at it and I go, it's not as good as my high quality one. I'm not gonna buy it because it's junk and I don't even want it. It's just like trending. And that's kind of the point, you know, going towards buy less, buy better, quality over quantity, building my capsule wardrobe, that kind of thing. And I am starting a short series all about buy less, buy better, and like what's actually worth your money. I already launched it on TikTok, so if you want to check it out there, you can. But if you want to see like a more in-depth video, or if you just want it on YouTube, let me know in the comments and I can do that for you. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this: you are not bad with money because you lack discipline. You're bad with money because your systems aren't set up to help you, and systems can be changed. Make the right behavior obvious. Make it attractive, easy, and satisfying. That's it. 4 laws. Apply to your finances. Practice consistently over a year. And the version of you on the other side is not going to be someone who suffered their way into a savings goal. It's someone who built habits so solid that the good decisions happen almost automatically. That's available to you starting today. If this resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more and let me know in the comments which law you're applying first. I read every single comment. If you like this video, make sure you check out my video on how to get ahead of 99% of people, and I will see you next time. Bye.